Whenever someone asks me, Nurse Fab, what are the different steps I need to take to be able to move to Canada? The first question I ask them is, which province would you like to work in? Because for me, that's the most crucial, or like that's the first step in all of the processes. You have to decide which province you would like to work in. And I notice a lot of you don't have an idea. They would tell me, oh, which province is the best or which province good to apply to. And I would always say, just because it worked for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And then I realized that some people are stuck or confused in choosing the province that they would like to apply in. So, in this video, I would be sharing 5 things I think you need to consider when you're choosing the province. Hi, everyone. My name is Nurse Fab. I'm back. I hope this video would help you choose which province you would want to apply, which regulatory body, and ultimately where your life in Canada would begin. The first thing that you need to consider is the regulatory body requirements. So this is very important because, again, they have different requirements. Some provinces would allow you to practice with just having your licensure examination and your registration in the Philippines, for example. But some provinces would ask you to do more courses, attend like an internship or practicum, and it's really up to you if you're willing to do that, or you would rather take the exam and be able to practice as a nurse right away. So, for example, here in BC, I think most of the time they would want you to have like at least 3 months or a year of studying before you will be able to get your registration. Yeah, some of the provinces that I know has streamlined their processing is like Ontario, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia. So maybe if you wanted to work as a nurse right away and you have your NCLEX examination, maybe look into those provinces. The second thing that you need to consider is the availability of jobs. So, in my head, generally, Canada needs a lot of nurses. There's always a shortage. I feel like there's a lot of jobs if you just know where to look. But also, I feel like bigger provinces or provinces with a lot more people would have more demand for nurses because they have more people. And for me, some of those provinces are Ontario, British Columbia, Alberta. And if you know how to speak in French, you could go to Quebec. The third thing that you need to consider is the cost of living. No, I feel like if you live in like more populated cities, the rent would be high, food, transportation. For transportation, like maybe, if, for example, if you work here in Vancouver where there's like ample public transportation, like buses, not really ample, but there's buses and the SkyTrain, etc. Um, it's more accessible, I guess, to like public transportation. But if you are in, for example, Calgary or other places in Alberta, I guess it's really, really required. Not required. You really need to learn how to drive and maintain a car. And based on people that I have conversations with, uh, sometimes groceries would be a bit far from where you would live. So you have to really have a car. You need to drive to work. Try to research on the province's cost of living. For example, in Vancouver, rent is really high. I guess in Ontario as well. And see if the wage that you're aiming to get from that province would suffice in the cost of living of that province. Um, I have Also, co-nurses that were from Alberta, they said like, yeah, the rent is low, but also they have higher electricity bills and maybe transportation bills because you have to drive a bit far to get groceries. Unlike when you're in Vancouver, you're in the city, like there's a lot of groceries around my area. So yeah, the cost of living is a really important thing to consider, and you should really research. You watch vlogs, you watch my vlog, you subscribe to my channel. So yeah, I mean like yes, it's important to consider how much you're getting gonna get paid as a nurse in that specific province, but also compare it to their cost of living. Number 4 for me is lifestyle and environment. So, lifestyle, are you a city girl or a small town boy? Because, if you're more used to living in a city where it's like, it's a lot of people, a bit crowded, but has the nightlife, or are you looking into like more rural areas where it's nice and quiet and it's more peaceful. And last but not the least, I guess this is a very important consideration as well. And this the last one is, well, basically what made me choose BC and Vancouver. It's because of my support system. So I have family here. I have my friends. I have new friends here now. Um, so it's like more likely to for me to stay here. But also, I it's really a big head start if you have family, if you have somewhere to go to when you are in need. Um, I really feel like people who would come to somewhere that they have no connections with, like uproot themselves from the Philippines and move into somewhere that they have zero connections. They're gonna start from scratch in terms of like relationships, and they don't have family or relatives here in Canada. I salute you guys. But also, yeah, I think people would rather choose a province that they have relatives or friends or they know someone from. And yeah, maybe it's for me, that's a big consideration. So those are the 5 things I think is really important when you're considering where to live or where to move to Canada. And if you have more things that you think nurses should consider, don't hesitate to comment it in the comment section below. And send this to another nurse that you feel is stuck in step 1. And I'll see you on my next video. Stay fabulously brave and beautiful. Bye.